Aisha Asif Ali.
Yes, sir.
Aisha, please introduce Dr. Ruth Pau to the panel.
Sir, I would actually like to change my personality. This is not a part of my final personality, favorite personality. I'm going to go with Dr. Imam Roshani Zafar and my mother as my favorite personality.
Okay. Please introduce yourself and where do you see yourself after 5 years?
Sir, my name is Aisha Asif Ali. I'm from District Lahore. I have done my bachelor's in English literature from Government College University. Throughout my academic career, I have built a diverse extracurricular portfolio, including debates, international representation, editorial leadership, and working with nonprofits in gender and climate change. If I talk about my extracurriculars in during school, I did my national Turkish Olympiads and national language Olympiads. I have an A2 level certification in Turkish language. In addition to that, I have been doing debates, including MUNs and parliamentary debates during college and university. I was a part of my university's magazine as a co editor during the third year of my university. And during the fourth year of my university, I became the 124th editor of my university magazine, The Ravi. After graduation, I have worked as a content lead with Climate Forward Pakistan, where I co wrote a policy paper on the participation of youth in climate policy making, and that was presented by CFP on COP28.
Aisha, is there any link between English literature and civil services?
Yes, sir. I think that humanities as a general discipline and English literature have immense significance for people who want to be civil servants. Civil service requires the ability to think critically and the ability to make good decisions. And I think my education in English literature has really helped me to foster critical thinking, develop out of the box thinking, and have a solution oriented approach. In addition to that, I think that it has also helped me know how to make good decisions, and I think that is also going to be beneficial for my civil service. In addition to that, I have also
How
learned.
do you view Pakistan's decision to be the part of Board of Peace?
Sir, I think that Pakistan's decision to be a part of Board of Peace was a very pragmatic decision by the Foreign Office. Pakistan's decision to be a part of a bloc of Muslim countries to represent within that Board of Peace made a unanimous front for the Muslim countries, and Pakistan has, over the last year, played a key role in regional politics of the Middle East and also the politics of the Muslim world. So I think in that scenario, I see the participation as a good thing. Secondly, keeping in mind the fact that Pakistan has been trying to foster positive economic relationship with the United States of America. So I think participating in the Board of Peace is necessary for that as well. Because President Trump has a transactional economic policy in which he tries to take forward his economic decisions, his strategic decisions with economic measures as well. For example, on France, he imposed a tariff on French wine when France declared that they do not want to be a part of the Board of Peace. So I think for economic reasons as well, Pakistan has made a good decision by being part of the Board of Peace.
Okay. What are the motives of Israel behind the recognition of Somaliland?
Sir, Somaliland is a very critical area when it comes to the area of Horn of Africa. It has immense maritime significance and strategic significance. I think it also has significance with regards to Israel's long term mandate on what to do with the Palestinian people. If we talk about strategic significance of Somaliland, Somaliland can provide Israel with the ability to develop naval bases and surveillance capacities against the Houthis, which are posing a consistent threat to the state of Israel. When it comes to maritime security, Israel has been trying to expand its economic footprint and economic relations with countries like India under programs like IMEC. And I think Israel
Why
wants to.
Sudan is in news these days?
Sir, Sudan has been in news due to a civil war going on between Sudan, that is between the official army, Sudanese army, and a paramilitary force, RSF. Their clash has been going on since 2023, when both the leaders have been fighting over the future of what the Sudanese democratic government is going to look like. Because of these two forces, Sudan has been divided into a de facto control of both the forces. And recently, RSF made certain gains in a very key city of El Fasher, which was a garrison town of the SAF. So, with regards to certain human rights violations and war crimes that took place that were documented by satellite imagery and later confirmed by organizations like the Amnesty International, Sudan has been
Why is
in news.
Greenland so important?
So, Greenland is very important for a number of reasons. The first would be its location within the Arctic Ocean, makes it a key location between North America and Europe. With the rise of climate change, there has been melting of ice and the possibility of new maritime routes that could connect Asia with Europe and America that would reduce trade route timing is also has also brought immense significance. In addition to that, Greenland houses a US military base that was a part of agreement between Denmark and US in 1950s. And the US wants to further expand its military footprint by creating a golden dome that is going to give a security against ballistic missiles. So in addition to that, there has been a certain significance with regards to rare earth metals. So, Greenland has a significant number of rare earth metals like uranium and iron core.
Why Pakistan doesn't spend more on human capital?
Sir, there can be several reasons for that. The first is the fact that Pakistan does not have enough economic resources to spend on human capital. Pakistan's debt to GDP ratio is around 73.2%. A lot of our financing, a lot of our resources go for debt. In addition to that, Pakistan has to maintain a very robust military and strategic forces in order to defend itself against internal security threats as well as external security threats. I think that leaves very less for social spending. I also think that there is a capacity issue within the institutions of Pakistan with regards to resource efficiency. So the resources that we have are spent less towards social development. According to the recent IMF Governance and Corruption Diagnostic Assessment, 6% of Pakistan's GDP is lost towards corruption. So that is also
Parallel education system in Pakistan is leading the country towards socio-economic and political divisions in society.
yes, sir.
How can we introduce a cohesive model of education in Pakistan?
Sir, introducing a cohesive model of education would require significant reforms within our educational system. The first would be having enough resources to upgrade key educational facilities like madrasa schools as well as public schools. With regards to public schools, certain governments have taken up certain steps, like Punjab government has started outsourcing some of the schools to private companies and NGOs, etc., to upgrade facilities. But with regards to other provinces like Balochistan, Sindh, and certain areas of KPK where there is a lot of infrastructure gap of schooling, there is a dire need of economic resources. So I think first of all would be creating economic resources for that. I think second would be related to the first point, and that is developing more public-private partnerships in other provinces as well, and also with international organizations that can support schooling, etc., like UNICEF and UN Women as well. Um, so I think in addition to that, also mainstreaming education within provinces, because education is a provincial subject. So I think provinces can take up their own individual formalization plans in which they try to integrate and formalize education within all three tiers. So I think these are some of the steps that can
Last
be
question
taken.
from my side. Three positive and three negative points of 27th Amendment.
So I think the three positive points would be first, the fact that we have introduced a specialized structure within our judicature. The establishment of the Federal Constitutional Court creates a specific court for constitutional cases, for advisory issues, and also for dealing with disputes between federal government and provincial governments or between provincial governments. So I think this specialization is also going to contribute to a reduction in judicial backlog, and it is also going to contribute to depoliticization of the judiciary. I think the second positive would be the introduction of the tri-service model for the armed forces that has been applied in the US, UK, India, and other parts of the world as well. That is going to coordinate all three forces heads within a singular figure, and is also going to bring our nuclear structure within that defense strategy as well. I think another positive would be I cannot think of the third positive at the moment, but if I talk about the negatives, I think the first negative would be the introduction of the lifetime immunity clause. The Constitution of Pakistan believes in rule of law and equality of law for all people. And before the amendment was introduced, there was the concept of official and functional immunity for people during their tenure. The president was given immunity during his tenure. I think that the introduction of lifetime immunity might contradict with that constitutional clause, and the amendment can go to the Federal Constitutional Court for further explanation. So I think this is a process that we can see in the future years happening. I think the other negative would be I can only think of this negative at the moment.
Okay. Who presented the 27th Amendment Bill in Parliament of Pakistan, and how many provisions have been included in 27th Amendment?
Sir, I cannot recall
What
who
are the
exactly.
clauses have been included?
Sir, I can enumerate them because I do not have the exact number at the moment. There have been changes in Article 243 with regards to the armed forces. There have been changes
Total
in.
clauses.
Sir, I don't have the exact number at the moment.
Okay, Aisha, Iman Mazari and her husband have been sentenced to jail for tweeting on the issue of missing persons.
Yes, ma'am.
What is your opinion on that?
Ma'am, on the issue of missing persons or on their case?
On them being jailed for tweeting on the issue of missing persons. Do you think this is against the freedom of speech? They should have been allowed to post that? Or do you think that they have been imprisoned as per law?
Ma'am, Article 17 that deals with freedom of expression in Pakistan has a very clear categorization as to what the reasonable restrictions on freedom of speech are. And that includes any speech that is against the glory of Islam, public order, and against the national security and defense forces of the country. So I think it is explicitly mentioned in the Constitution what are the limits of the freedom of speech already. In case of any violation of those limits, the courts and institutions have the right to react against that. Aman Mazari's tweets did not only deal with missing persons, but there were several tweets in which she was implicating the armed forces in conducting certain subversive acts within the country as well. So that was a direct violation of the national security provision present within the constitution. So I think that the sentencing that they have received is in alignment with what is already in the constitution.
Okay. Do you think the issue of missing persons in Balochistan is genuine, or uh, the armed forces and the forces that are working in Balochistan, they are picking up people rightfully?
Ma'am, I think that the issue of missing persons in Balochistan is a genuine issue. This has a context of what happened after 9/11 in Pakistan. There was a regional spillover of terrorist organizations and terrorist people, and there have been recruitments from within Pakistan and all over the world for those terrorist organizations. So there is a huge plausibility that people from Pakistan also might have joined. Now, when it comes to the issue of missing persons specifically, Pakistan has already accepted that there are several missing persons people, and we have established a commission on missing persons as well for their recovery and for also bringing relief to their families with regards to their bay forms, pensions, etc. as well. So I think that Pakistan already accepts that issue. Pakistan has made mechanisms to rectify that issue, and as far as there are certain people who are continue to be missing, and their cases are going on with the commission at the moment. I would not say that the forces are implicated in this process because there is no solid evidence to suggest that.
Okay. Aisha, if I ask you to formulate a policy, it can have 4, 5, 6, 7, as many points as you want to include to alleviate the situation of women in your area where you're posted. So, formulate a policy that will help women get education and employment.
Ma'am, I think the policy first step would be to understand the key areas faced by the women in that area. I think that would require a survey. of finding what the key areas are and liaison with all the institutions working in that area, like sanatzars, shelter homes, police stations, hospitals, and the educational institutions as well. Once the biggest area, for example, is found out, only then can I formulate a policy. If we specifically talk about education, I think that some of the barriers of education for women include access issues. Women do not have enough mobility opportunities, like public transportation, or schools are located very far away. So, in whichever area I am located, I would actually look forward to designing efficient routes that allow women to travel towards educational institutions. Similarly, for employment opportunities as well. So, I think the first would be improving the mobility of women who are already within the sector. Then, when it comes to for women who are not within the sector, I would actually like to extend public-private partnerships with organizations like UN Women and any other women-related organization working to develop mobile schools for women within areas where there is an access issue. So I think with mobile schools, women would be able to receive education from within that area and would be able to get over the patriarchal cultural constraints as well. When it comes to employment opportunities, I think doing public private partnerships with Sanatzars and other related areas with regards to the permissible employment opportunities allowed.